with our lesson, Tim Junkins.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I had a really bad opening where I was going to wish everybody a happy Easter and go, oh, wrong page. But I decided not to go with that one. It's still out there, you can ruin it. It is Christmas. It's Christmas time. The entire world shut down except for that 7-Eleven down the street and that Chinese food restaurant. Guess where we're going for lunch, everybody? I'm very excited it's Christmas, though, because Christmas, if nothing else, means that the world just kind of shuts down for a day. And I think we can all definitely use that. It's a sad Christmas. It's an unfortunate occasion. I didn't get anything this morning. Nothing for Tim for Christmas. Never mind the fact that we did our family party last week and I got all my gifts then. I didn't get anything on Christmas. It's terrible. My mom gave me the idea for that joke. Just go up there and say you didn't get anything for Christmas. What's even worse is you guys know my parents, and so you would probably side with them and go, he probably deserved it. Christmas time invokes a lot of things. It invokes a lot of happy memories, a lot of remembrance, a lot of kind of somber attitude times, thinking about the ones we've lost over the past year. There are a lot of great family traditions. In my house, it's the Charlie Brown Christmas special, It's a Wonderful Life. We watched an hour of The Sound of Music last night, and I thought the thing was over, and looked at the TV, and oh look, it's going on for 3 more hours. It's a good movie though. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But there's a lot of great family traditions, and we adhere to these traditions so strictly because unlike anniversaries or birthdays or graduations or other festive occasions that come up during the year, Christmas is really the only time of year where we stop and go, okay, it's everybody's party. It's time for everybody to get a gift. It's time for everybody to celebrate with family. It's time for everybody to get food and all these really great things. And that's what separates Christmas from any other holiday, like birthdays or Mother's Day and Father's Day and Children's Day. Oh no, wait, that's not a thing. No, I'm just kidding. But that's really what separates Christmas from the rest of the year. And it's really difficult to talk about Christmas, especially on Christmas, because there are so many great themes that you can pull from it, especially being a man of faith. There are so many great and wonderful things, and so I kind of agonized over this a little bit this past week because I had 4 different sermons, and this is the first of 4. You guys might as well get comfortable. But I did. I worked on 4 different sermons this week because that was at least what I could come up with, and so of course. We're going to be looking at Luke chapter 2. What kind of Tim Junkins Christmas sermon would it be if I didn't get my Charlie Brown holiday special reference and Luke 2 reference in on the same thing? Because when asked about the true meaning of Christmas, Linus comes up on stage, says, "Lights, please." And the spotlight hits him and he recites the passage out of Luke 2. And of course that's the passage we're going to be going at today, but I wanted to approach it from a different angle because that's what I talked about last year. And, I give you guys all the credit in the world, but, we don't always remember what past sermons are on. And I probably could have gotten away with just doing the exact same sermon, but I decided to give you guys the benefit of the doubt and come up with something new. We look at the theme of gifts. We give, and we give, and we give, and I had the esteemed pleasure of this being the first Christmas where my nephew was old enough to acknowledge that this is a thing that he gets and he's happy for it. And we had a big family Christmas party last week, and I was able to give these gifts to my parents and my nieces and my nephew, and it was so wonderful. And this idea hit me this week, this idea of what the theme should be. And I thought that the theme for this week, for this particular Christmas, for this year, should be the idea of time. And what we give as a gift is time. I'm a nerdy guy. I'm into literature. I'm into movies. One of my favorite themes is time travel. Love Back to the Future. I think it's a great movie. Because we always like to romanticize the idea of, oh, if only I could go back. If only I could go back and change this one event, or change this dumb thing I said at the company party, or if I could go back and take this job instead of that, or or get this burger instead of this thing, just like very minor things to very major things. We can often think and fantasize about what if we could go back, and what if we could change certain things. And I thought about what if I could write a letter to my 10-year-old self, or my 15-year-old self, or 20 or 25. Like what if I could go back and, like not go back, but just send a letter back. Just send a letter back and just say, hey, it's you from the future, and like these are a few like highlights, that I want you to hit. Because we often struggle with the idea of we don't have enough time, whether forwards or backwards. We like to change things in the past, we worry about things in the future. And the reason I bring this up specifically is because of this passage out of Luke 2, and I'll get to the point in a minute. But Luke 2, starting in verse 8. And there were shepherds living out in the fields nearby, keeping watch over their flocks at night. An angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them, do not be afraid, I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all the people. Today in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is the Messiah, the Lord. This will be a sign to you. You will find a baby wrapped in clothes and lying in a manger. Now, ultimately familiar story to people of faith and people of not of faith, like an ultimately familiar story. The three wise men go, they bring gifts to baby Jesus, gold, frankincense, myrrh, because, that's what a baby's crying out for, gold, frankincense, myrrh. But it was more the idea of a tribute. It is this baby that is born will be our king one day, and so we must pay tribute to that. And we share that notion in gift giving. We say that I am giving you this gift because you are a person I respect, or you are a person I love, or it is something you need, or something you want, and I want to give this to you. And that's kind of the root of Christmas gifts. Like those are the reasons that we give. But the one thing, like the one resource that is not renewable, and I'm not going to get a little hippy-dippy and talk about renewable energy resources, but the one resource that is not renewable is time. Because we look at the story and we go, that's a wonderful story, and I believe it with all my heart. But since that baby was born, he lived 33 years and he died for the sins of humanity. And men have lived for 33 or 66 or 99 more years after that. And generations upon generations have been begotten up until this point in history. And we often don't think of, the Bible is living. It is always impactful. It is always a wonderful resource for us. But it is a historical book. It takes place with events that have already transpired and are immutable. We cannot change the events of the Bible. It is a historical account as much as the history of our nation. There are things that we cannot go back and change, good or bad. And so it's difficult to think that we don't take the time to think about this. We don't take the time of baby Jesus laying in a manger and the three wise men coming to him paying this tribute. But the thing I wanted to focus on is how God breaks things down into segments for us. God very specifically lays out milestones in our life, because there is not a single one of us that is capable of taking on all the problems of our lives at the same time. I was listening to this really great radio interview last week with one of my all-time favorite directors. He's the guy who's directing this big-budget comic book movie this summer. And the person interviewing him asked, how do you do it? How do you work out the time? And he says, it's difficult. It's absolutely difficult. And so my wife and I worked out a deal. The deal is I'm allowed to work 6 days a week without sleep. I'm allowed to sleep for 3 hours a night so that I can meet my budget. And I have to spend time with her and my kids on Sunday. And she said, if you pick up a pencil, so help me, I am leaving you. And that is the deal that they worked out. Just for the duration of this movie, just for the 7 months that he spent shooting this movie. Because we look at people and we look at these shepherds. These shepherds had things going on. The shepherds had problems. They had things they had to worry about. They had a job to do. And then all of a sudden there's this situation where God, through this angel, asks them to go to this town and see the baby Jesus and take this time and to sever themselves from the problems that were going on. And I think it's great that as a nation, we set aside December 25th to say, that's it, no more, we're done. We have this amazing tradition in my family, which we violate today for a very special occasion, in which we hang out all day. We just hang out. You know, when we were kids and we lived there, it was sit around in your pajamas day in the Junkins household. It was so wonderful to have this day that separates things. And, you know, I think about the concept of time and how we abuse it. And, you know, how we badger it and we say there's always more, there's always more, there's always more time. And we stress ourselves about it, because the reason I want to write to my younger self is because I am one of those people to this day. I have to think, okay, on Tuesday we start inventory, and I've got to make sure that these orders get out, and I have to make sure that this paperwork gets done. And so that interferes with this concept of just shutting everything down. Continuing on in the passage. Verse 13. Suddenly a great company of the heavenly hosts appeared with the angels, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest heaven, and on earth peace to those on whom his favor rests." When the angels had left them and gone into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, "Let's go to Bethlehem and see this thing that has happened, which the Lord has told us about." So you're at work. You're doing your thing, you know, whatever you do, you know, blue collar, white collar, doesn't matter. You're doing work. All of a sudden, an angel appears to you and says, "Hey, I need you to go here right now, because something's happening that's changing everything. And it's absolutely important that you go right now, because this is the most important thing that will ever happen." And the angel goes away. You've got to make a decision. Now think about it. Like, shepherds, not a high profile job, not like a management position, I mean, far be it from that. Unless you count sheep as employees, they're terrible at that. But think about it. When God like, not even in this instance specifically, but when God tells you to relax, because you're tired, because you're exhausted, because your spouse wants to go do something, because you need to, do you listen? Not all the time. You say, "No, it is absolutely, positively important that I finish this thing right now, or the sky will fall down on me," because we convince ourselves of that. We convince ourselves of that. And so these shepherds had a decision to make. They had a job to do. You know, they had to make sure it got taken care of, and they had to leave. And the thing that's omitted from this passage is just how long it takes to get around. Back in the olden days, back in the beginning of the New Testament. You know, let's hop a metro over to Bethlehem. Let's grab a taxi. Let's take my car. Road trip. No, it's walking. It's a lot of walking. I mean, just think about how much we don't enjoy walking nowadays. You know, we fight tooth and nail. And I saw this on the other day. I saw this rather fantastical looking fender bender in a Target parking lot. Because so help me, I will not park in the back of the lot. Because I don't want to walk that far. You know, that 200-300 feet, not going to happen. I have to get closer. And so, we don't like walking. So just imagine taking days at a time to walk. And this commitment, this time, to find this family, and to find this baby, and to pay tribute to it. And the reason I say that God breaks things up into segments is because he does. When baby Jesus was born, nobody went to Mary and Joseph and said, "Okay, here's exactly what's going to happen to your kid." Because I don't want to go to my brother who's got a 2-year-old nephew and be like, "That kid's going to die for the sins of humanity one day." Because you don't want to tell a 2-year-old that. And so God breaks things down into segments for us. He has these milestones that he establishes for us in life. Because there's not a single one of us that can take on all the problems that we are ever going to deal with all at the same time. We have to break it up. But more importantly, we have to recognize when it's time to stop. When it's time to take a 24-hour break, a 24-hour hiatus from the world. And I could have gotten all theological, and I could have talked about the historical inaccuracy of the American concept of Christmas and the time frame, and all, but I am one of those people who, beyond the shadow of a doubt, absolutely, undoubtedly loves Christmas and what we're supposed to do with it. I absolutely love it. I embrace it wholeheartedly. Cheesy Christmas carols, bad clothing, amazing food, I'm part of it all. I love it. I love it so much. And I encourage you that if you're not like me and you don't love it as much as I do apologize. But if nothing else, recognize the fact that our nation has shut down for today. Except for 7-Eleven, Chinese food, and movie theaters. There's always that caveat. But just take the time. Just go home, relax, watch some bad TV or old TV or something like that. We watched a Charlie Brown Christmas special last night, Remarked, at 1965, I think it was, 1965. And it's still great. And that's the one thing that you can interconnect between my Christmases. You can draw a straight line from when I was a little kid up until now. That's the connecting line right there, is that Christmas special. I still laugh at it. I laughed really hard last night because it's still funny. It's still good. I still love it. And I encourage you to take today, as believers, to recognize the fact that even God rested. God created the world. God rested on the seventh day. It's there in the Bible. It's there in the beginning, more specifically. So that way, if you don't read as far as you wanted to, last year, you still get to that part. I hope you get to that part. It's really early on. But God rested. God made the world. God made the plants and the water and the sky and the sun and people, and then God rested. So, at the very least, take today, rejoice in memory, share it with family, have a good meal. Enjoy each other's company. Enjoy being in church. I'm very glad you're here today. I was very terrified this whole thing would be empty. And I'd still be up here talking. But as far as the internet can tell, I roll a laugh track in the background. I have all my dad jokes, and people will think there will be people here. But I'm very glad you're here today because I needed this. I need to get up here and say, go home and relax. And please contemplate that as we stand and sing the song of invitation.